Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the man who never misses, Hugs.
You think he's gonna shoot the chart shot over the tree?
Yes.
Smash community hasn't gotten the best treatment from Nintendo over the years. I've made videos back when new information came out about the ways Nintendo has hindered the Smash community's growth from behind the scenes. This information came out around the time that the Big House Online was shut down due to the usage of Slippy. This wasn't the first time Nintendo has ordered large tournaments to either shut down or change their rules, and it also wasn't their last. Nintendo has consistently tried to bring down the Melee, Ultimate, and Project M communities for seemingly no reason, or at least for very bad reasons. Hugs has been one of the main people to spearhead the hashtag #FrickNintendo movement and has consistently made memes mocking Nintendo. He has even stated that people should boycott the final character reveal for Smash Ultimate because Nintendo had set the reveal date to conflict with the release of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. He has made his stance on Nintendo's BS very apparent over the past year, and I don't fault him for having these opinions. On October 16th, a Twitter user by the name of /Michael posted a tweet about how they enjoyed the commentary by Jordan Kent, Vicky Kitty, and Supergirl Kells at a Nintendo Run event. These people, specifically the latter two, were grassroots members of the Smash community, and Hugs thought it was bad that they were commentating an event for a company that actively goes out of their way to put down the Smash community.
I got big name homies who refuse to work for Nintendo from here on out, so I know it's possible. This is just disappointing to see from people ingrained in the scene that Nintendo straight up actively hurt over the years.
This take is bad for several reasons. Firstly, just because someone works for a company doesn't mean they support that company's actions. Usually, especially for a freelance commentator, they are only there to get paid. If a Walmart or Amazon boycott occurred, I see no reason as to why people should go after the employees when the real issue is with the higher ups. Most of these employees are just there so they can make money, which leads me to my next point. Not everyone's financial situation is the same. While you may know of some people who can comfortably reject these jobs, some people don't have the means to protest with you. In fact, I'd venture to say that most people would accept this job for not only the money, but the ability to put this on their resume for future jobs. If anything, Nintendo is supporting them, not the other way around.
Blur grabs it and says, hope the Nintendo money was worth it, shaking my head, right? I tell him firsthand that it is. I've got those Nintendo checks and they were great.
Lastly, do you really think that your boycotting will have any meaningful effect? You are essentially asking for these people to reject money to fight for a lost cause. Why should anyone do that? Why should anyone base their life decisions off what you want, especially if that thing you want is not going to come? These people aren't hurting the community by commentating at these events. The worst part about this take is that Hugs is so firmly against Nintendo as if they're the only platform in existence to make decisions that could hurt their consumer base. Twitch and YouTube have done bad things over the past 5 years, yet Hugs still uses these platforms that actively hurt their creators. Hugs, I could do the exact same thing you're doing and say, it's disappointing that you stream on Twitch, a platform that bans creators sometimes even permanently without reason, but that would be a dumb opinion to have. Also, Connor, how is celebrating someone getting the bag childish, but boycotting a company over a children's party game not? My favorite part about this whole situation is the backpedaling shenanigans that Hugs immediately resorted to once he got backlash from the people involved. All of a sudden, now he's in favor of these people making money from Nintendo. This whole sequence of events leading to the eventual deletion of his original tweet just goes to show you how much Hugs tries to pander to the Smash community. So Hugs has since apologized for what he said, and I could forgive him, but I'm not going to do that yet, just because he's had a consistent history of opening his big mouth before he thinks. So we all know what my opinion on hacks is. I came to my opinions from informing myself about what was going on, hearing out both sides, and coming to my own conclusions. For the most part, I agree with hacks, however there are still some things that I disagree with him on, but the point is that I have carefully developed opinions that I think are correct and can defend an argument. Developing opinions and decisions based on facts, multiple perspectives, and personal experiences can be defined as a process known as rational thinking. Hugs does not practice rational thinking. He doesn't try to properly inform himself on what's actually going on. He simply just reciprocates whatever opinions will score him community points. Here was his take on the hack situation.
If you didn't know, I don't think I need to link you guys on it or anything like that, but Hacks Money came out with the video. Like, he said something along the lines of, like, this will change the Smash community forever. He put out like a 2.5 hour video or something. And this came out while I was in Vegas, so I did not see it. I did not click it.
Wait. What?
I did not see it. I did not see it. I did not see it.
How can you not watch the video, yet have an opinion on it? You aren't going to adequately inform yourself on what he's talking about, and instead take the watered down, filtered, and biased version from idiots on Twitter. As somebody who hates Twitter as a platform, you seem to put a lot of trust into it when it came to hacks. Why should I take anything you say seriously when you yourself can't take what you're saying seriously? He then goes on to repeat the same bullet points that people use to discredit Hacks' video, not even debunking it, just discrediting it as worthless.
My initial reaction was that Hacks is not fine. Okay, Hacks is not okay. This is quite unhinged to put out a 2.5-hour video saying that Leffen is on some dark triad shit. Not jokingly either. My initial thought was, oh, he's joking, right? He wasn't. Also ended up quoting Hitler and then like relating that to Leffen somehow. And then another point was Leffen wearing some kind of red stripe thing months after Hacks wore it as some kind of like reference to Hacks to I don't know, breed hate or something. Look, I'm probably off on the details here, but it really doesn't matter.
He can't actually give his personal opinion because he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. I've actually covered this concept already in one of my hacks videos and why this can be harmful to the community. When slime has more respectable opinions than you, that's when you know you've stooped to a new low. So when you apologize for saying something rash about a situation you know nothing about, I don't exactly take you seriously because this is a recurring pattern. Let me get Matt in here because he needs to hear this as well. You've never heard the physics joke?
No, I've never heard it.
I can't believe it. Oh my god. Alright. There was a farmer. He had this farm with a bunch of chicken on it. He had a lot of chickens and something was wrong with his chickens or something wasn't normal. He's like, oh man, I need to get this fixed. I can't be selling my chicken, but I have bad chicken. He first hires a biologist to inspect what's going on with the chicken, and they do like an experiment, take like measurements, look at the chicken, like their bodies. Then he comes back, reports to the farmer, and says, all right, I couldn't find anything wrong with your chicken. He goes, hires a chemist. The chemist does all these experiments. He checks the food, the digestive system, that kind of stuff, tries to see what's going on there. Wants to get an understanding of what's going on with the chicken from a chemistry perspective. So after he finishes conducting his experiments, he goes back to the farmer and says, I could not find anything wrong with your chicken. The farmer's like, are you kidding me? That's 2 in a row. Something's definitely wrong here. So now he hires a physicist. So the physicist draws all these equations, some variables, some substitutions, all this stuff. His experiment, he basically takes the chicken and launches it at a wall. And he goes back to the farmer and says, oh yeah, something's wrong with your chicken. So back a few months ago, Pyra and Mithra got added to Smash Ultimate, and someone decided to make an exaggerated jiggle physics mod. Our great friend Hugs decided to comment on the mod by posting a video about it. He talks about how doing this contributes to a culture of objectifying women, and that it's toxic and shouldn't be made, etc. He also attempts to debunk some of the counter arguments that were raised. He disabled the like to dislike ratio because that's just how spineless this dude really is. Also, disclaimer, there are some points in this video that I do agree with, but for the most part, I think his whole thesis is dumb, and I think he made a bigger deal out of it than it really was.
You're just thinking, well, it's a TV show or it's just fiction, but the thing is, the more of that kind of stuff comes out in our media, the more it propagates the idea that it's okay to do in real life. And nobody can sit here and tell me that the objectification of women doesn't happen in real life. We all know that it does. It happens, right?
This is a straw man that he uses to deflect from the actual arguments being made. I haven't seen a single person of relevance, or a single person for that matter, make the argument that objectification of women doesn't occur in real life. The argument is that people are able to tell the difference between fiction and real life, and if you can't, then that is a completely different problem. For example, violent video games don't make people violent. It's that violent people naturally gravitate gravitate towards these games. They were already violent before playing the games, and the games just reinforce those pre-existing ideas. Obviously, this is a negative of these games, but it is a completely different issue entirely, and you seem to agree yourself.
I just think anyone who has those kinds of issues is going to find that inspiration from any kind of medium, including movies, including games, including books. I even think the dialogue where we act like that's causing it is kind of harmful for society in general.
The same thing goes for the Jiggle Physics mod. It's not going to make people misogynistic and objectify women. The people who come out of this objectifying women were already doing so beforehand. It's just that the mod panders to these people, which again is a problem, but a completely different problem. Another thing which Hugs will cover next is that you could argue that this isn't objectifying women and is rather just appreciating a certain body type.
Another thing I wanted to add was that some people have the argument that, oh, they're just appreciating a certain body type by doing this. In regards to body types, I don't think there's no body type that's like wrong, right? People come in all shapes and sizes. And if Nintendo chose to make a woman with big breasts in their game, then that isn't a window for the community to just be like, holy crap, like look at those breasts, that's all I care about, and I want to objectify that and all that. It's a thing I talk about on stream a lot, which I joke about here and there, about not yucking people's yums. And the phrase is a silly phrase meant to say like, hey, whatever you're into, as long as it doesn't harm other people, then go for it, right? On a case-by-case basis, some are okay, some are not. I think one that is not okay, that kind of does cross that line, is making a fucking video game mod. Like, why do you have to make a video game mod specifically so that the boobs can jiggle in the game? It makes no sense to me.
So you say that you shouldn't yuck people's yums while yucking people's yums. If people are into this kind of thing and want to play the game this way, why aren't they allowed to mod the game and play it that way? It's also bitterly ironic because if you replace Jiggle Physics mod with online rollback netcode or Project Plus, you sound just like your mortal enemy Nintendo. You are doing the exact same thing that you boycott Nintendo for. Now that's just the first part. There's obviously step 2, is this kind of mod harmful to other people? The reason why I don't think so is because the mod is optional. If you don't want it, you can just not get it. This mod isn't baked into the base game, and it's definitely not going to be standardized across the community. There's only one way this mod could possibly be harmful to the community, which Hugs covers later in this video.
Surprisingly, as a woman who spent years in the Smash community, it wasn't a poopy mod on a character with boobies that made me hate the Smash community. It was actually the targeted harassment, bullying, and objectification I got. If it makes you uncomfortable, that's pretty valid, but it really doesn't sit right with me when people go, this is why women struggle to be in the Smash community. Simply no.
What makes this particular edgy is like, dude, let's be real here. Smash is a video game typically meant for children. It is a game people play for fun, and a lot of the audience is young, impressionable people. So why bring your boob jiggle fetish to that arena? Why do it there?
As I said before, this mod is not part of the game. It is an extension that you must go out of your way to get, just like skins and mechanics mods. While the game is obviously rated E10+, these mods are not, and the creators are not responsible for children downloading this mod because children aren't the target audience.
Here, like, it's not in the actual game, it's just a fucking mod. If you don't like it, if you don't want your kids to see it, don't download it. Okay. And you're saying, well, if you're not into it, don't download it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Here are the facts. Right? If tournaments come back, do you actually think someone's not going to bring their modded Switch to a tournament with the boob physics to play it there in person? It's probably going to be a tournament setup, and the tournament organizer might not even realize that it's there. And so people are playing it, and then you might have some freaking like 22-year-olds like ogling or just laughing and cracking up about it, and then like a girl is in the vicinity and she just sees all these dudes like just going nuts over this Jiggle Physic mod that some dude decided to make for whatever reason, and then now that girl has to feel uncomfortable because she has boobs, and then these people are ogling at that character. So what in her mind would make her think that they're not going to do the same thing with her? Maybe they won't show it, but what's What's the separation there? And if you really think that the world is so good at separating the fiction side from real people, then you're out of your mind. Like I said earlier, this type of thing already happens to real people, and it's because of the culture.
If you really think these mods are that harmful, we could just ban them. I could kind of see where he's coming from with friendly setups, though you could just report them if you notice it. But for tournament setups, that has the simplest solution. Just vet every single setup before a tournament. That's what should be done anyway, to make sure people aren't running illegal software mods that allow you to cheat like that Ohio Pichu player. This should become standard because it's not just the jiggle physics mod that should be banned. Other offensive or explicit mods shouldn't be allowed either if making people uncomfortable is the issue.
This is a big one. How about we understand that Smash went through a lot of shit in the summer in regards to sexual harassment, sexual assault.
I'm pretty sure nobody is sexually assaulting people due to a jiggle physics mod. I've already said this earlier in the video on how dumb this argument is. No, a jiggle physics mod doesn't make people sex offenders, just like violent video games don't make people violent. This whole video is just yet another bad attempt at trying to score points before he even thinks about what he's talking about. There's an old saying that goes, "You're too stupid to know how dumb you are." I think this saying perfectly fits Hugs to a T. All he has to do to get better is think before he speaks. That's it. No more, no less. Some people may look at this video without watching it and go, why should Hugs be banned? But that's not the solution that I'm proposing, nor do I think it's the correct solution. I don't think a person should be banned for having dumb opinions, otherwise we would literally not have a community anymore, myself included. I think we should let Hugs try to actually improve himself and become a positive force in the community again. My advice to Hugs is to simply use your brain. Give it a shot. As the old saying goes, you miss 100% of the shots. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for me to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.
This one's for Kobe.